Dormitory Glory Stories!
Hey out there, welcome back to Dormitory Glory Stories, your unofficial guide to college and the mistakes you'll make in undergraduate. I'm your host, Dejen Tesfagiorgis. Today's episode is a special one because I interview my brother. That's right, my brother, Odalo Wasikhongo of California Institute of the Arts, graduate in experimental animation. So I wanted to wear something a bit more animated and exciting for you folks out there in Radio Land. We talk about the nature of moving from the Midwest to California, how Disney basically owns the School of CalArts, and the importance of mentorship in art and in creation in general. So, please enjoy this episode with Odalo Wasikhongo out of CalArts.
And we get the cat in there.
Gotcha. Ooh, did she get in there?
You can hear it. Okay. It's sublime. It's time that we open up and free the mind.
Free it.
I can contemplate, yes, again. We are on the west side of Madison.
Yes.
Say it again. Kicking it nice. It's so fresh and no other. Kicking it with my big brother.
Yes.
Of course, there's one
Fresh.
up and one more below, but she's a sister out on the East Coast.
East Coast.
Kicking it with the flow.
Yeah.
Solid like you know.
Yeah.
And here at this go,
Why?
like not whack a yacht, looking at Basquiat.
Yeah.
He's a black
Ooh.
cat, extra for luck, and gotta have it because I just am rough.
Yeah.
Around the edges, don't buff around the hedges, gotta trim it off like it was neglected. I'm respected, we're so eclectic here
Yep.
on the west side of Madison. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Getting downtown
Yeah.
as we doing it rhymes, because we what? Free in the minds.
Yes. That's dope, dude. That's dope, dog. That's fucking dope.
That's great.
That's dope, man.
So that's our opening number.
I love that.
That's
I love
great.
that. How do they
Yeah.
feel about cuss words? Can I, on
it's
accident?
great.
I don't
It's
do
great.
it intentionally, everybody. It just slips out every once in a while, so just so you know.
It happens.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it happens. So this is like I have a public access show on New York Public Access.
Awesome.
So part of this is let's make a mixtape. It's kind of like stories from college, like a podcast.
Okay.
But then we also like, we just really need one story from college.
Okay.
And that's like kind of the
Yeah.
hook.
Yeah.
So you know the
Yeah.
audience. So
Yep.
eventually, what I want to build this show to.
Yes.
And I'll turn some of these effects off. What I eventually want to build this show to is like. I do improv with a bunch of dudes, like kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway type improv with this, and so we make up characters in scenes, and then we rap as the characters we just created.
Okay.
So I want to do like a college tour with that, but to build that audience, why not start with CalArts?
Yes.
Start with friends that went to University of Florida. Start with friends that went to UW.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good storytelling and all this stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. CalArts all day.
So brother.
Yeah. Literally, too.
So brother. So
Yes.
one of the things I
Soul Brother #1.
Soul Brother.
Yes.
Always respect about your art and your work. And we have many
Yes.
pieces around here that maybe we'll walk around and do a quick tour. But I think because of our also great age difference, your college experience was just like miles ahead. I was in maybe late middle school.
Yeah.
9th grade graduation is when I was going to your college graduation.
Yep. That was 97. Oh, well, that was 2001 when I graduated. 97 when I entered in CalArts. So that's like 2001. That puts you at graduation time in your high school, right? And
it was your graduation because we went out.
It was my graduation college, but you were in high school.
Yeah, I finished high school 04, college 08.
Oh, damn. So you were just going into high school.
I was, just finished my first year. Mr. Zerner gave me crap because I was going to California for your graduation.
Wow.
Mr. Zerner, rest in peace.
Wow. Oh,
But,
rest in peace, Mr. Zerner, man.
Mr. Zerner in science.
Yes, man. We had some great teachers when I think about all the teachers, man, growing up.
Yeah.
Like when I look about like even just getting to college and going to college, you know, of course mom was an artist, and so that inspired a lot of everything that you see right here, the colors and all that type of stuff. But when you get into like influence outside of the home too is very important, like your teachers and the supporters that help you get there. And when I was thinking about that, a lot of my art teachers were like some of the primary supporters along with my mom that were like, yo, man, go to art school or look at the art school and check out an art school, like, and really put art schools in front of me. So when I was down in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was going to Benjamin Banneker High School, and in College Park, Georgia, it was there. Mr. Harris, my art teacher, God rest his soul too, rest in peace, Mr. Harris. He was actually a player for the Boston Celtics.
Really?
Yeah, old school, very tall.
That's Robert Parrish days.
Robert Parrish days, man. And,
00.
I can't remember his first name. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was, his last name is Harris. I remember that because I always addressed him Mr. Harris because he was like a man of like dignity and respect, you know what I mean? Very tall, like 6'10" or something like that. And then he was just like, yeah, you know, I played for Boston back in the day. And he was like, had that old soft talk, you know?
Yeah.
And just real cool, casual. And he was a good artist too. And he was an art teacher there at Benjamin Banneker. And he brought in some people from the Art Institute of Atlanta that came on in and showed us a little animation. And on the animation, I saw a mouse like do something in front of a little trash can and stuff like that and walk off. It was a little computer animation. When I saw that, and at the time I was working on a painting, I was doing an acrylic painting of the Jizza Liquid Swords album cover at the time. Yep.
That's in the house somewhere.
Yes, it is.
I've seen that at the house somewhere.
Yes, it is. And I was working on that piece when that video was played in that classroom in Atlanta, Georgia, and I said, man, I'm going to art school. From that point on, I didn't know if it was going to be. I wanted to go. I was thinking Atlanta, Georgia. I was thinking that Art School of Atlanta because that's where I saw the video. But when I got back up north and I heard about California, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. That's where we're going right there, CalArts. And I found out about CalArts that way.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about CalArts.
Well, what was, I think Fauna and I, my sister, she'll be a guest.
Yeah.
Little Fauna.
Yeah.
But what was I think we were living in Nebraska at the time. So when you were.
Yeah. Yes, you were.
Yeah, when you were out of school, it was like, I came back to Wisconsin for middle school. Yeah. And then I know you were in California.
Hold on one second. Is that us?
We got a timeout. Yeah, that's us. Who we got at the door? We got to call a timeout. That's our son.
There we go.
Yeah, baby.
Well, I do apologize about that. You know what I mean? We are here in the middle of the hood. Sometimes things happen. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, let's cut that interaction, but I think we got to include that.
You got to.
I'll give you the full thing of this too, so we can do it.
Awesome. So we back in it.
We back here. We back here. You know, in the middle of the hood, sometimes you gotta let these hood cats know that ain't all parts of the hood.
You can't just come by. You can't just
come by.
Redirect the energy elsewhere.
Friday was an entertaining movie. It was also a movie. You can't just Tiny Lester nobody. Not that you getting tiny, but you gotta Heisman them once in a while.
Definitely Heisman.
Got a Heisman.
More often than not, actually, in this time. More often than not. In fact, try to go for be the Heisman.
Be the Heisman.
Start
with the Heisman.
Yeah, start with the Heisman.
So we were talking.
So
like you get to California, like this was Wisconsin dude. Wisconsin, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Kenya. We
can
Kenya
too.
Go back as far as we need to. But so also keep in mind the time of when you're going. It's like 97.
97. So that's like Wu-Tang, Tupac. That's
California Love, I think, came out.
That's that Hip Hop Saved My Life picture. We'll get a photo of that. You guys see that in a second.
We'll put that on post.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ultimately that era. So you got a lot of freedom of speech at that time, but it's an aggressive freedom of speech. What I realized too, also, let me just put this in there real quick.
Let's add that.
I love hip hop. Grew up on it, part of it, even partake in it. You know what I'm saying? DJ radio and stuff like this. You know what I mean? We're on hiatus right now, myself, due to a recent situation. Yeah. Well, right now we time it out. You know. Living in the hood, sometimes things happen. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And you're just a good man doing good things, man. But long story short, it's hip hop is when I look at the 90s era and I look at 90s rap, 90s hip hop and stuff like that, and I loved it. It's like, I heard a rapper say it's like superhero comic books, rapping nowadays, like rapping period. But when we're growing up on it and we're listening to it and being influenced by it, I see it now, like how influential it is, how much of an impact it has on the minds of young cats growing up, and how it really does push us in the wrong, negative way and influences in a negative way. And sometimes those things, those chambers, those channels are hard to break. Those cycles are hard to break, even hard to even see that they're even traps. So it's like nowadays it's a lot easier because it's so much more in front of our face. But even then, it's like it's probably just as hard because these cats are growing up in it as opposed to us being through it and being able to look at it and see it from a distance as well as through the experience. But hip hop has steered a lot of people in the wrong direction, man. Though we got a lot of good things.
Fans too. I mean, what they expect of it, I think.
Yes.
This also kind of speaks to the era. But in 1994, Clinton passed this Telecommunications Act.
Yeah.
It was 96. But essentially part of that was national radio stations.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they could only own up to, I think it was 40 radio stations nationally. And it moved it to unlimited.
Right.
So
I moved it to unlimited.
Unlimited.
It's basically a monopoly could happen.
Well, then you look at companies like Sinclair Radio, to a degree, like iHeart Radio. I think it was iHeart Media in this book I read.
Clear Channel.
In a period of 4 or 5 years, they went from 40 stations to upward to 2,000.
Oh wow!
And so that
straight up monopoly.
Yeah, that helped the boy band era spread because every local radio station
dominant
cluster was like a franchise. Like you can get a Big Mac from every McDonald's. Now you can go here in sync whatever
radio
city
budgets and all this type of stuff.
Ultimately get bigger in order to compete with what was a budding internet.
Yeah,
but it was still it's come into itself.
Interesting.
Now you can only pump out hits to justify the money you've already put up. And now iHeartRadio, I think they're like $300 million in debt. Maybe gonna file for bankruptcy at some point. But they're doing they're still spending money on music awards and stuff. So they're
trying to get that hit.
Trying to get this the hits,
that buzz or that thing that people just constantly come to, that Google or that YouTube or that next thing.
That next thing. So there's a lot of company, even like Google loses a lot of money on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just because it's something like, this is the stat maybe 3 years ago.
I was wondering how they make money off of that. If it's like just advertisement.
Really. The people big YouTubers make money, but based on the advertisements, it's like a 50-50 split. But I think the long-term play is like a video, sort of the new communication medium. Even the founder of Netflix saw this 15 years ago or so when he started DVD.com, and it was just, he's like, well, eventually this technology is going to catch up to my idea.
Right.
So he started getting people loyal by shipping CDs, DVDs in the mail. And then when the technology got to streaming, I think it was like 2009, 8 or 9, that's when they started doing stuff online. And now they just spent
already had their customer base and all that type of stuff already.
And they spent maybe, it was like somewhere from $3 to $6 billion in original content to have all these original shows, the Luke Cages, the Somebody Feed Phils.
Kind of like doing the Ted Turner's TNT a little bit.
Kind of, yeah.
But creating their own.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's $120 a year for not having to have TV or cable. That's like 1 month of internet bill or
that's a big investment, but that can come off in the long run.
In the long run, because there's a monetization strategy. However, with the theory behind buying all these radio stations was like, oh, well, we'll just cut out the redundancy.
Right.
We'll cut out the time DJs have to spend making their own playlists or having their own ideas or their own flavor.
Fill in time.
Yes, you get a lot of the Morning Zoo guys like, hey, coming out. Hey, what's going on here in Madison, Wisconsin? We're here.
Fill in space.
WICH. That's the Indigo
WSHIT radio.
WSHIT radio here in Madison, Wisconsin. We're on the west side. We got Odalo Wasikhongo coming out to the mic.
So
tell us, Odalo. So what kind of name is that? Sounds some kind of African. Huh? So I see a drum in the corner.
And that's when you grab the DJ. You turn the cameras off right there.
Hey, so I saw Black Panther the other day. Was kind of entertaining. However, where exactly is Wakanda?
And how do you screen? How do artists screen where they're going to show up or what type of show? Because you got to do some kind of research to the show that you're going to show up on, right? But you're trying to get that plug and you're trying to get that push and you're trying to get that awareness. So it's like, okay, so sometimes you might end up on a show like this, and I'm not talking about like a big artist. It's going to be up and coming artist. Yeah. But I guess that fits in with the whole type of music anyway, because if it's trash music, then it's trash radio, so it's going to be naturally just basically filling space. I don't know, man. I don't know where this music game is really going when I look at this whole thing.
I think a lot of the young guys.
Sad.
the young.
And not all of them. You got some good cats. Like I like the Coles. I like the Kendricks. I like the cats that are saying something. I like anybody that's saying something. Rhapsody. Shout out to Jean Grey. All the cats. Like I like a lot of cats that are saying something, but it's like what's being pushed, what's being promoted, what's being bought into and invested in by big corporations, like you were just talking about those iHeart radios and all that. It's a lot of that low frequency, low vibration, and that's something that it's hard to.
Well, even I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be as upset or disappointed if they didn't call it hip hop, if they didn't call it rap, if they call it like
pop.
call it pop, call it like soft rap, or call it like the same thing they did with
mumble rap,
smooth
like
jazz.
Yep.
Like
there we go. Yeah,
smooth jazz and hard bop.
Yes.
It's like, okay, cool. People can like Kenny G. That's fine.
Right.
He did sell what Diamond is like 10 million albums from
Kenny G went Diamond.
Something, yeah. But like
John
that's
Coltrane.
fine. But
did
that's
John
still
Coltrane
smooth.
ever go Diamond?
No.
Miles Davis?
Not Kinda Blue might have, but not.
Wow.
Not none of the other albums. Not like.
Wow.
Bitches Blue, and not Four.
None of that. Oh man.
Nothing.
Wow, I love Four and More. That's like one of my ever favorites.
Tony Parker's like 17.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's a great album. It's a great album.
Oh my God.
You actually gave me that album.
Oh my God.
You gave me that album.
Yeah. One of my friends, Dale Green, put me onto that album. He's a drummer out in Oakland. And met at CalArts. Met at CalArts.
Oh yeah, we got way off topic.
It's
let's talk. So you get, let's say you get to CalArts.
Yeah.
Like, then like, what was it like your first couple of times? It's dorms. It's California.
I loved it.
Have you been there? Did you go out there for like a college visit? Did you see it before?
Yeah. College visit, went out there. Me and Mom's in the winter season, so it was like, you know, it was cold out here, hot out there. So got out there, got sick when I got out there immediately because it was just such a big change. My first time in California and all that type of stuff. But yeah, went toured the campus and stuff like that. I get out there, the guy was like, that I met with on the tour was like, "You're not gonna get in here, man." He looked at my artwork.
Oh, really?
Yo, dude, he was a black dude too, man. It was like black dude with glasses, a little bit heavier, and just sat down and stuff. And he was just like, "Yeah." Looked at it and unimpressed too when he was looking at my work, unimpressed. And we're just like, "Yeah, you're not gonna get it. You need a couple more years to look at it, go through, maybe go take a look at some of the other works and get inspired by their works and yada yada yada." He was just shitting on it, right? I left there, I was just, man, I was so heartbroken, man, right? I even had tears in my eyes, man. Mom was like, "Man, don't fuck him. Don't worry about him. Like, he's not the one that makes the call, doesn't make the decisions. Keep on pushing. We're gonna get in here. Don't even trip."
Was that like an admissions counselor? Or who was?
Yeah, he was
who
like an admissions counselor.
Like an advisor type dude.
Yeah, just like kind of like a counselor, like like you said, an admissions counselor.
Yeah.
Somebody you meet with tells you like the process of getting in.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Nothing major. Not even in the department that I was going into. Just a guy there. You know what I'm saying? And funny thing, I think I might have seen him maybe once I got in there. You know what I mean? Maybe
like,
once, if
hey
that.
Guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm in here, on.
Hey, buddy.
But
I see you're working in the cafeteria now. What happened?
Exactly.
What happened?
Exactly. Working security and shit. But shout out to all my security workers out there, man. I love y'all, man.
We love y'all.
Love y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I know some cool security cats. But
hey, Uncle Alvin.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Alvin, Uncle Willie, Uncle William.
Uncle William.
Working security down there in Chicago.
Chi-town, man.
Chi-town.
And still being around doing that, you got to be tough, man. Like old school, that old school, our uncle. Man, we ain't gonna go into his story.
No,
man. That's maybe another time.
Maybe another time. We'll catch you in the sequel.
But so I get in, and a long story short, after going in, I go through the campus, take a look at it. I said, "This is definitely where I want to be." And I was like, if I don't get into school, I'm coming into California regardless, and I'm eventually get into the school, you know. But I was like, I'm coming out here. And I got in that year. I got in that intro that first year, and it's hard to get in CalArts. 1, it's hard to get in, period. 2, it's extremely hard getting in on your first time. I had no idea about any of that coming in.
Really?
Yeah. So I came in just a raw young baby, wet behind the ears, and I was coming up under Jules Engle at the time. And when I was coming up under Jules Engle, he was a legend in animation at the time. Experimental animation. He did a lot of the animation, leading animation work in Fantasia, the first Fantasia. Yeah. And a lot of other work with Disney too as well. But at the time when he was coming up, he was Jewish, and Jules Engle, he's blatantly Jewish, you know. And little short Jewish man, very creative, brilliant mind, genius, man, genius. And a lot of times they didn't give him the credit because he was Jewish at the time, coming up in that era.
Man.
So he went on a lot of films, did a lot of work, and you won't see his name in a lot of the production, or they'll give him like a small credit than what he actually was on the set.
Less of a royalty, less of a recognition.
Exactly.
Less of a, man.
Exactly. All of that. So he paid his dues, did his time. At the end of it, you know, he got his recognition, he got his known, and got the school, you know what I'm saying, got that whole department, experimental animation, CalArts, film and video. Jules Engle, founder, like just built that whole thing on up. So he was in Disney. That's a Disney school, and Disney basically created that school and harvested it for a lot of artists, animation. Royal Disney was a part of it too, as well as Walt and a lot of Disney family ultimately. And so music, a lot of that stuff came out of there. A lot of great people. Don Cheadle. A lot of people came out of there.
I was listening to an interview with him too. Like he was between playing trumpet and acting.
Yeah.
And so I didn't see that Miles movie, but I was like,
that's
that's
a
a
one.
great role for him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, I gotta watch it. I know that is.
Just recently watched it actually.
Man, I remember my first movie I saw him was in Boogie Nights. I was like, who is this weird ass cowboy?
Oh yeah,
this cowboy dude.
Raw roll in
He
Boogie Nights.
He had a role. That's whatever. It's like one of those movies that's like a good introduction. For almost like the Coach Carter, where you have you got Sam Jackson. Got the light-skinned dude who's playing his son, and then you got a whole cast of dudes who are like, this is sort of the next generation of black actors. And Channing Tatum was also in that. Young Channing Tatum.
He was in there too, huh?
He was the white dude. He was like the white dude. I
gotta go back and watch that again now, because I missed him in that, man.
Yeah. He was the main white dude.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and see that movie, it took a minute for me to catch that movie at the time because I was a little bit older. I just got out of my basketball phase and stuff. I wanted to hoop back in the day. I wanted to be a baller.
I remember you had them shoes.
Make you jump higher and shit. I actually got the chance to dunking. I actually got to that level of dunking, so it was cool, man. But it took a while. It took a lot of work, man.
Them shoes that they're like, they look like high heels without heels.
Yeah,
so it's
in the front.
Yeah, high heels with like the Star Trek Spaceship Enterprise.
Yeah.
That's big and flat up front, and then the foot
lifter
comes up. Yeah, like it's supposed to work your calves or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it did.
I remember when I was a kid, I was like, what are these shoes?
Yeah, dude. And I got up there.
The pumps. I didn't see them shoes.
Dunking. Summertime. Dunking on their ass. It was dope, man. I can't dunk anymore, man, but I was dunking for about like a good 2 years, 3 years. Off of that, good 2-3 years, we got off dunking. Then retired around college time. CalArts, we played ball, and CalArts, we had a team out there, CalArts Styles. We hooped. Did really good. Not winning so much, but we just looked really good. Though. You know what I'm saying?
But the outfits were on point.
Yes, they were. They were dope. They were super dope.
They walked in like WWF wrestlers. They were, though.
They were. This super nice, silky type outfit, too, you know? The CalArts Styles is our name. So we look fly. We look dope out there playing. We just didn't necessarily have the teamwork to win the game.
Yeah.
But
you come in at halftime, the coach is drawing pictures. Like
exactly.
He's not drawing plays. He's drawing like, Odalo, I got this caricature of you dunking. Great job.
Yes.
Got this caricature of you.
Straight up. The halftime show, we got like the dancing school, and then we also got theaters doing some improv and shit. It's dope, dude.
Showing up naked with the full bush. Like, this is what basketball means to me. I'm 19.
Doing interpretive dance of what just happened. This is what happened first half.
This is inspired by Lady Smith Black Mambazo piece. In like
CalArts
a
is dope,
200-person high school
gymnasium.
Hey, all right, we got to clear out. We got a quinceañera happening. It's 15 minutes. Game's over. We got to go. We got a quinceañera.
Get them out. Clear them out. Man, yes, dude. Yes,
but so all like what I know the most significant part of your whole CalArts experience, I remember like at the end of, you made that video, which was great. It was like this kind of South Park cutout.
Okay, now peep this out. Okay, so first year, I did that my first year, right? That was my first video, right? Okay. And I ended up doing like 3 of them. And I had a whole bunch of ideas, but just materializing them. You know what I'm saying? I'd get them to, some of them I'd get all the way through storyboard up into building the sets, and then I'd be like, you know what, I want to do something else, you know? But that first year, so I had like about 4 films that I ended up completing, about 2 others on the back burner that I was working on when I was finishing up. But you're only supposed to do 1 film your whole 4 years there.
Really?
Yeah. So you're only supposed to do 1. I didn't know that going in. That's why I was like working so hard and busting my butt going in. I was just like, okay, even though they said that, but I was probably just doodling and some shit like that when they said that. Right. You know what I mean? But so that first year, and I did that class. That was for one of my stop motion classes, but not stop motion. It was a cutout class, but it was dealing with like kind of like stop motion cutouts and all this other stuff. Yeah. And it was like, okay, you pick your project and you just do your little short. And it wasn't to be necessarily a full film. It was just to be like a little short, like a little 30-second, 45-second piece.
Most of the other ones on the VHS tape we were watching were like that, but then yours was like 4 minute-and-a-half long bits.
Yep.
Chris Rock, Robin Harris.
Yep.
Red Fox.
Red Fox and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You did
had them do the little stand-up. Yeah, the doo-doo.
Yeah.
And so that piece right there, and then my teacher was upset because, check this out. So the teacher of that class, this is what happened with it. This is how actually me and Jules got really connected, my mentor. And because he was already my mentor, but he was like, at that point, he didn't know like what I had. You know what I mean? Like, what is this guy? What's
his thing? What's he specialize in? What's
exactly.
Like
So at that point, I was working on that film the whole time, all year long. It took me that whole year working on that film, that first year, right? And as I'm doing it, I'm working late nights. I'm doing like super just late shifts, you know what I mean? And then waking up the next day, going to class and stuff like that. Sometimes not even going to sleep and just going to class, just busting my butt, right? And sometimes I'd be up in there late too. I'd come to class late because I slept. I mean, I just, you know, overslept when I'm trying to get up because I'm working on this film stuff. So it come down to the end, and she was just like, you know, my teacher was frustrated, and I didn't tell her I was working on my stuff because I was like just really sensitive about my art. I didn't let people know. A lot of times I don't let people know what projects I'm working on until I'm done. I have like several projects going on, even still now, several projects going on, but it's like, you know what, when it's ready, I might let you know right before it's ready, you know what I mean? But I got to be there. So
I used to be the same way, unless it's someone that I know is better than me at something. I'd be like, hey man, can you have a look at the sketch? Or
something like that.
Can I pitch you some ideas?
Right. Somebody in a mentor or a mentee, like somebody that's like, where they're at where you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. Like that right there. That's who I'm usually showing it to, building it to, trying to get it to there. Like those are the cats I'll build with.
Even that peer that like from the music building or from like now sketch rooms, writers rooms, like knowing, okay, you're working on whatever, a Black Seinfeld thing.
Right.
I'm working on a Black Guess Who parody.
Right.
All right, cool. Here's your idea. Here's mine. All right, I'm gonna make sure mine is better than yours. It's friendly, it's friendly and competitive, but it's still like
period.
Okay, cool. We know where we're at. You know, I know what your deadline is. You know what my deadline is.
But this is gonna be dope.
This is gonna be dope.
Yeah.
We're gonna So anyway,
absolutely. And that's exactly what it is. So with that year, ultimately, I was seeing their projects, same type of deal, seeing their projects, and I was like, okay, I gotta make my shit super dope. So I wasn't letting them know, same type of deal, harvesting. So come showtime, everybody's showing their 45-second piece. Then I come with this little 10-minute piece, right? And they're just like, damn, okay, boom, okay, it's not done yet. Okay, it's not done. Okay, it's not done yet. Okay, right? And at the time, then the teacher was just like, after that, she was blown away, and then she was just like, oh wow, okay. Showed me love at that point where it was a lot of frustration before that. And then she started looking out a little bit more. Still, it was like kind of, still took a while to understand my style, you know what I'm saying? But Jules saw it right off top. When he saw that, he was just like, okay, this dude is about just having fun and bringing life to this stuff. And he saw a lot of the colors and stuff, and then he helped enhance it. So long story short, that's when we started having our sit downs in his office, and then he just started kind of like just building with me at that point. It was just like, all right, check this out, homie, or throw this at me this way, or like we'll be in class, we'll put up a film just to kind of like see what cats are looking at, you know what I'm saying? And he'll ask a little question, and then we'll build on it. He'll ask little papers and have some marks about the papers. But Jules wrote a beautiful letter for me when I graduated, beautiful letter, and Jules, man, God rest his soul, man. Jules Engle, amazing man. Yeah.
What was So were there like, what was like your first party out there like? Your first California is very.
That was the first week we were there. Damn near like the first night I think we were there actually, and so that's actually it was the first night because that night I met my friends Robert Daniel Thomas. God rest his soul. Now this is how I know I'm getting old because I'm saying a lot of rest his souls to a lot of names as I'm going through this stuff, you know what I mean?
Mr. Turner was at least in his late 60s when I had him.
Yeah, when I had him, we ran through a lot of our teachers, man. Like they had to chase us down, but they kept on us though, and they helped us get there. But Robert Thomas, I met Robert Daniel Thomas that night, and I met Waleed Morsi that night, you know, and we're still friends to this day. And that night there was a party at the pool, so I get in.
There's a pool
party on campus. Yep, and they do the kegs,
California.
and this is like this
is the college.
Man, yeah. So this is my first night. This is the night that the older cats come in, move in night, and older cats when they move in night, they move the fuck in. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, all right, it's party time, it's kegs, it's pool party, and this is CalArts now, and this is in the '90s CalArts now. '90s CalArts was a remnant of a '70s CalArts. And I was a young kid at the time. Like I came in, like I said, I got in on my first time. So I came in straight out of high school. That puts me at like 17. These guys that I was going to school with were like in their 20s, man. Like they're like 21, 22.
So it was typical that maybe someone would go study for 1 or 2 years at like UW-Madison art department.
And then go to a CalArts. Yes. Yeah. That's that type of school. It was that. I had no idea. Yeah. Unless you were coming into like the dance school or unless you were coming into maybe theater school. But a lot of programs were like you coming in you got to get some work in before you can come in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you just had that natural raw talent, like I'm saying, like dance theater where you could just see it like that, you know? So art, you had to, like the drawing and the painting, you kind of had to hone your skill before you could get in there. But they experimental animation, man. I'm thinking Jules probably the one who saw that, you know what I mean? So it was because he really had my back the whole time I was there. Petitioned for a lot of my scholarships while I was there, a lot of shit while I was there. He was the dude. And when I graduated, he was looking out. So
party.
Back to that party that first night. So we get on down there. I come in, move in room 333. You know what I'm saying? That's my number, 333. I didn't know how important that was going to be until later on down the road, you know. But 333 had a spiritual incident up in there too. I saw a ghost in there one time. And the funny thing is, the people who had that room before me, damn. The people, should we go in there one more time?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the people who had that room before I was in there, they had an experience too in there. And then they came in and they had their experience, and then they were like, yo, have you ever had an experience in here? They came by one day, and I had my door open. And they were just like, because I used to keep my door open playing video games because of that.
Well, come hang out, whatever.
And that type of deal. Come hang out, but also had that spooky experience. So I was like, I'm keeping this door open. Yeah. So while they walked by, and they was like, you ever had, anything weird ever happen up in here? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't share with them. I didn't tell them at the time. I was kind of like secretive at the time. So I was like, no.
I'm 18. I don't know these cats.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. And it was like three kind of like artsy looking people. You know what I'm saying? To me at the time, it was weird looking. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm like, yo, those are the cats I'm looking for. Like, yo, I'd kick it with them. Like, because I feel at home around, like, just cats that are just real creative, man. So it took a while just to get into myself and learn myself. But that first night, so I'm getting on down there. I see the pool party. That goes into a lot of this whole experience because I get down there, I see it, and they're all artsy. And I'm coming from, like, I'm thinking I was going to, like, a UW college university.
We grew up, for those who don't know, mother's 45 years at UW-Madison. So at the time, she'd been 20-some years. So it's, like, it's predominantly white. But the college experience, very Big Ten, very football-oriented. Like, we thought, growing up in a college town of 250,000 people, we thought all colleges, all universities was like football games, hit the Final Four, beer, bratwurst, babes.
That's what I was looking for.
All the B's.
That's what I was looking for.
The B's are the threes flipped and with the little knowledge cut off.
That's
it. That's what the B's are. But
the triple B's.
You cut away some of that basic stuff, and you get a three sec which is
I like that.
Which is the triple sec that you had at that party.
I like the way you broke that down.
Right. It's all here.
I like the science to that. Yes, it is. It's a very powerful thing, man. That noodle.
This noodle knows colleges, my friend. This noggin knows colleges. This noggin knows colleges. All right. So anyway, you're at the party.
I go down there, and what got me from the front, very top, I'm in my room, look out the window. I hear the party going on. Neighbors like, yo, Dalo, let's go on down. I just met this person too, right? And I was like, okay, Karma was his name. Okay. Interesting, right? So we go on down, go to Wally and Rob's room where we met them, and chilling down there, and they're just like, hey, let's go on down there, dude. Let's go down there, dude. And like Rob, black dude, Wally, Egyptian dude, Karma, another black dude, I'm me, black dude, right? So and we're at this art school, which is a little bit of everything, white, Asian. We're like one of the few sprinkled out brothers up in there, you know what I'm saying? Yes, together, right. So we look like a gang and shit. So it's like, who are these brothers on campus? Get these motherfuckers the fuck out of here. How high? That's what we were.
High, right.
You know what I'm saying? So we come on down there, we go down there, and I see, no joke, swimming naked. Girls are swimming naked, literally, right? But, I mean, they weren't the best looking girls swimming naked, though. They were girls swimming naked. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. When you see a naked body, I don't care who you are. You see a naked body, it does something to you. It does something to you. It just does something to you. But so it did something to me. I was like, wow, you know. So I hopped the fence. You know what I mean? We get on, or everybody's partying. I'm talking about keg, pool, swimming naked. It's at least 3 people swimming naked in the pool.
Is this an upperclassman party specifically, or is this just
anybody? This is just like, because really they're trying to break in whoever's there, the new kids. Like, so they're really like welcoming us to the campus. This is how we get down. And like I said, it's 70s remnants. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 97, so these cats are like swimming in the pool like it's what it is.
The images you grew up with of college, this is now. Let's make that 1.5. Let's take that, but put an art teacher's perspective on that. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Definitely that.
Like a lot of my perspective of college came from like American Pie or like well, growing up in Wisconsin, this beer and stuff, or like How High was like.
That was another one.
Those are the movies that were like, okay,
this is
what I'll experience in the next few years.
Yes.
Okay. Please continue.
Dope.
Keep interrupting.
And yo, this shit.
Get the perspective of like,
70s.
Okay, cool.
Straight 70s, man. Swimming in pools, butt naked, beers, kegs, all this type of stuff, all going down. Everybody's having a good time. No problems, right? Music happening too. Live band even. Like, cats just pull out their shit from their rooms.
Yeah.
Like, just pull speaker out. It was like almost like some Brooklyn stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Labor Day parade. Like, pull out your speakers, open up the windows, stuff like that. Plug in your mic or plug into your amp type of deal. And they just.
Same purpose. We all here.
Exactly. And it's in that dorm circle, and the pool's right there in the middle. So it's like perfect for that type of stuff. The music echoes, so everything echoes. So it's like everybody's hearing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. And I'm like, okay, long story short, you know, I started talking to her. She's Indian, right? Like from India. And I'm going to keep her name to her, like, because, you know, I don't know if she'll ever watch this. She might be. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. It was weird.
What'd you got? Go back to or whatever?
So, yeah. Yeah. So, long story short, I talked to her. We messed around. I was young. We go back to her spot, messed around, right? Turns out my friend Rob Thomas, God rest his soul, he messed around with her too. And then a couple other my friends. So I didn't feel so bad afterwards, but I was just like, golly. And
golly, that's
everybody's experience.
Oh, golly.
Yes.
Golly.
And everybody's experience was the same. It was just like, felt a little weird.
70s.
Like,
70s.
Yeah, 70s, man. Yeah. But that opened me up from that point on. I was just like, okay, this is CalArts right here. And I still wasn't ready for CalArts, but it took about like a good year and a half before I fully bought into the idea of CalArts. And I was like, okay, I see what CalArts is. CalArts is fucking dope. CalArts is it's the land of the free. It's just like you just do what the fuck you want to do. It's like literally police can't come onto the campus unless they're called.
Really?
It's its own.
There's like a campus safety.
It's a campus security. Yep, we have a security, and there's like just a gate that just opens up and then closes. Opens up and closes. And if your name is not on the list or you haven't been a guest on that list, you can't come in. Walt Disney has a whole lot of power in California, man. A whole lot of fucking power. Police cannot come on. No matter what the fuck happens. I'm talking about they've had crazy shit. ODs, all type of stuff happened there. And they couldn't come until they were called. Yes.
Man.
It's wild. Wild. They had wild. CalArts is a wild place, man. But you know what? There's no place like it on earth. Like it's I learned so much. You experience so much. Student council treasurer. We brought the Far Side in. You know what I'm saying? Our senior year had Far Side come in, do a show. Yeah, man, they killed it.
You remember how much that cost?
They did a nice, sweet deal, man. I want to say we only paid them like $2,000 each. You know what I'm saying? And then they just came in and shut it down and shit. It was Booty Brown and what's his name? Imani? I think his name was Imani. And them two brothers, man. And Slim Kid was I want to say Slim Kid was on his own thing, and then Fat Lip was on his own thing. Like they were kind of working on their own solo projects and stuff like at the time. So them two came, represented, shut it down. Then we had in the spring, we had Masquerade that year called Mask of the Red Death, where it was just this real sexy lingerie, a lot of just people just body paints. It was mostly body paint driven. You know what I'm saying? Like everything else was like you wore what you wore, but this body is paint. The core of it. Yes.
Golly.
It was so beautiful. I'm telling you, the dancers killed it. The dance schools shut it down. But anytime we're doing a fashion event, dance school shuts it down. Like the artists in the fashion groups will hire the dancers to come in, or they'll get the dancers to come on in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe keep the outfit or something like that, or they work it out. But it's Yeah, art school, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Artists going to that art school, I realized how to just really fully tap into your creative ability and just be yourself regardless, against all odds, no matter what. Because most folks ate ramen noodles, slept on a fucking mattress on the fucking floor, and were fucking creative geniuses, geniuses, and cared little about the fluff. You know what I mean? And the cotton candies and stuff. It was like, and they really helped me to dissolve a lot of that cotton candy, man, that I was catering to or wanted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I wanted that like football game experience. I wanted that, you know what I'm saying? And we went to like College of the Canyons up close. Like we went to different other areas, you know what I'm saying, or USC and shit like that.
Thinking that there is a normal college experience.
Right.
That's kind of a poisonous attitude when you're supposed to be going to a place where you're creating stuff that hasn't been created before.
Exactly.
So the fact of you thinking that there's a normal thing you're missing out on. I mean, you can if you come home a week early, come to Wisconsin a week early.
And I think that's part of the reason why they groom you. Like why they say you're not ready for this yet. Like they'll hold you out and it's like you got to get a couple more years before you come here. Get that out your system. Yeah. Then come here where you can focus in. Because a lot of folks, when you come in there, they're focused. They're focused. It took me about a year to focus in. I mean, I was focused on that project and knocking my shit out, but to get the whole flow of it, like the focus with the work, the camaraderie with the people. At the same time, maneuver and see what's going on. Where is everybody? What is everybody else doing? And how can you work with everybody? The networking aspect of it, because you got to build your connections for afterwards for that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So a lot of that. It took me about a good year and a half before I started realizing the bigger scope of things.
In that mindset.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That college mindset.
Yeah, I would say it probably took me, like me going to a private Catholic liberal arts place at college in Minnesota, about the same time, year and a half, 2 years before I was like, okay, cool, let me step out of the practice room 3 or 4 hours a day playing saxophone and jazz piano and stuff. Let me see what's up with life after this potential college. I almost transferred also, but I was like, it was either I was
why was that?
School. It's just like I kind of had my music and kind of had my business track. Yeah. And I was like, I had a full tuition scholarship up to the regular amount of credits, but then being a double major, I was like, I had like 2 separate worlds of business people and music people, but then I got to the upper classes in business, and I was like, oh, great, I can focus on entrepreneurship. Or there are these couple of professors, Jay and Alec in particular, that were like, they were the type of professor that I wanted to be, the type of they talked about business in a way that's very like, oh, go get it, go make that thing, go do that thing.
Very enthusiastic.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people that I was around were kind of Lego people.
A little lethargic, or like Lego in an aspect of just building blocks?
Of like, hey, oh, who are you? Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Which might just be the excitement of people who didn't have this, aren't going to drink. They didn't have an open campus in high school.
Right.
They didn't have college up a 15-minute drive away.
Interesting.
This is their first college experience.
Okay.
At still a pretty protected university in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
But like it's
kind of UW-ish a little bit, or?
No, like kind of like if Edgewood College was like 6 times bigger.
Got you. Yeah.
But UW-ish would be the University of Minnesota, which is like a much bigger school. Yeah. But it was still like value my time there, but it wasn't until I was like, personally, I was like, okay, let me put a little bit more into the non-school parts of this education, right? And let me try to make some lifetime friends versus like, all right, I hang out with you on this project, I hang out with you on this project, right? Hang out with you on this project, whatever, right? And then kind of go from there, right? Also, also Facebook had just become a thing. I think my second year or third year, maybe first year, second year of college. So at that point, you kind of get into people's lives casually.
Yeah, I remember that boom.
Versus like, I'm hanging out with you because you're my roommate, or these guys because they're on my floor. Yeah. So I was.
Oh shit.
So it was a little different.
Like, yeah. So it's that was during the .com boom, like that whole people buying .coms and selling .coms.
Yeah. I think the bubble burst probably sometime when you were out there. Yeah. Like what was it, like Pets.com? Yeah. They were selling and shipping like 50-pound bags of dog food, which isn't really practical, but they raised a ton of money. I think they tried to go public. Maybe they went public. But there was the bubble burst in the early 2000s. Yeah, probably around the time you graduated.
Yeah.
And then it slowly built itself back.
Yeah.
Since it targeted like the MTV generation, which now is just all reality, but that's a whole nother conversation to have.
That's something else, yeah. The reality television, all that.
Yeah.
That's everywhere now. That's like pretty much everything.
My mentee,
that's everything now.
His he didn't know. So he's 20 now. I've been like mentoring him, I suppose, casually.
Movies almost became like paintings now.
Movies?
Yeah, it's like
everything's got to be. How so?
It's like
Mona Lisa.
It's well in a sense, yeah. It's movies are like paintings. They're like everything is now social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Even restaurants.
Right?
Restaurants have to have like a photo-worthy dish that costs $50.
Everything, imagery, right? So we sell it through the image, right? And everybody has an image. Everybody has an image, right? Everybody's posting it, right? So now when we look to like the movies where we used to look at them before, like every weekend or even every night or something like that, or looking forward to going to the movies and stuff like this, now it's like we're watching YouTube, we're watching our friends, we're watching people that we can associate with, relate to, and stuff like that. But when we want to go to a movie experience, it's got to be something that's like an experience.
Life-changing.
An experience. It's like almost like going to a gallery. So when you go into a theater now, it's more than just going to a movie. It's more than just like when you go into a gallery nowadays. When you go into an art opening, you're getting your drink, you're having your wine, you're having your drink, you're drinking all that type. You're having your social circle and shit like that. Have a little bit of food, some snacks and stuff like that, right? Now you're kicking in and you're watching this movie, but this movie is just nothing but a moving picture. You know what I'm saying? The motion pictures, like they call it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a picture that's moving. So we're still just watching this some really good photography, some really good sound. You know what I'm saying? And it's ultimately an experiencing of this painting created by this director. And I say it's becoming art now. It's more like a painting now, where art has reached an echelon where it's like only people that are into art invest in art. Only people that are into these movies will go out and invest in the movie. Otherwise, they're going to pull it up on their YouTube or pull it up on their Instagram or pull it up on their Google, or you know what I'm saying. They're not going to really necessarily go out in there and check the movie. They'll like rather get a little, basically, not buy the Mona Lisa or go to Paris and see the Mona Lisa, but they will just be satisfied with watching the Mona Lisa on their laptop.
Phone background.
Exactly.
So every time I'll see
exactly.
it.
Exactly. So it's interesting, man. He values the material.
I saw Black Klansman 2 weekends ago. I realized that's the first Spike Lee movie I've seen in theaters. I was watching it and I was like, why does this feel so much more powerful than before? Oh, because I was a kid when Do the Right Thing happened, because I saw when the Levy's broke. I was in college. I didn't really go out to the movies a lot. Didn't see. Chirac was straight out to Amazon, I think.
And I didn't like that movie.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it.
There's nothing really missing.
Nothing. Most.
Shout out to Spike Lee, because I like your movies, man. But that one, I couldn't feel that one. No, not at all.
I'll watch it. We'll do a recap.
Yeah.
So what? I guess what was like. You ever have like a at CalArts itself?
Mm-hmm.
That's the. We haven't made a song yet. Let's go into that. Let's go into
the song. Yeah.
All right. We'll use pool party. We'll use a pool party as a
suggestion. Yeah. Let's go there.
Cool. I'm gonna add you so now you can keep going. What? Yes. First day at college, about to fill my head with these books, little bit of knowledge. Shout out around the way, I chose CalArts, not UCLA. Every day, we don't play out in the pool. Odalo, he ain't no fool. We got into this, ain't no lie. Got into this school on my first try. Okay, round 2. Hey man, why don't you come over, have a nice little brew? I can see it round 2. We can hit this with me on floor 3. You're in room 333. I agree, because we're doing this to such a degree. Maybe we can have a nice little sip, and then we can go to the pool and have a little dip. Oh,
yeah.
Now we're back to the first floor. Now we're back like Christine Amanpour. See a fine Indian lady right there, giving a toe in the pool, and look at that buck naked tool.
Pull out the tool. Had to do a duel. She didn't understand what was about to go all into the cut, so I had to sit back and say, yo, little shorty, I see you in the pool, make me get into the little warty in the water, a little worried in the water, cause she walk around, no panties on, drawers hanging out on the side. I said, damn, where the fuck is your man?
Wow, you don't have to wallow in sorrow. I know your name happens to be Odalo, and I saw you. You're the guy that got in with no fear, cause you were here. Goodness, who could I? No, don't worry. I also tag team with your bros because I cannot fit a prescription. I hooked up with that guy and that guy and that guy who's Egyptian. So you might as well come back to the room. Don't be a fool. I know this is your new time up in school, and you're not a tool. As we doing this, I can just so drool. Maybe we can take a hit of the bong. Yes, this is school. This is so CalArts. This is so CalFarts. I'm ready about to go so Cal far, cause we are enjoying this. What's the rubber dub? And I'm enjoying that California love.
California love. California bud. All that thug life. Used to love that track. The album was fat. Made me want to go to the West cause of that. And then I thought about it. Yo, why you do me like that? Why you wanna 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 do me like that? Yo, why you do me like that? Why you wanna do me like that? Yo, why you do me like that? Why you wanna do me like that? Yo, why you do me like that? Why you wanna do me like that? Yo, why you do me like that? Why you wanna do me like that? Yo, why you do me like that? I love it, y'all.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow.
Can we do another one real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one.
You wanna
Let's start all over.
beatbox?
New thing, y'all.
So
All
we'll
right,
say
now
goodbye to this
slow.
beat.
We're gonna go mellow.
Okay.
But you got that recorded still, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the two. It's in the two.
All right, let's go into a mellow one. You got a good bass line? Give me you got a bass line we can go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This reminds me of my first day in school, back as a kid. 96 or was it 97? I can't even remember, but I came from heaven. I mean cloud nine. Walked in, my eyes was mad red, feeling really fine. Girl in the corner looking really fine. Look me in my eyes, said where you come from? I said WIMADISON, and I am the one. I could be your man if you just come correctly. I'm gonna be the one to step my check. See if you wanna come into the telly, back to the crib and y'all maybe rub the belly and slap your belly skins. Slip me in, trying to see where is the Hennessy. Me and you and me, we could be a nice couple. She said maybe seems like you little trouble. I said no, not me. I like to play a little b-ball and smoke some weed, and maybe you could see how you get with me. I'll maybe do a little picture and we see Lion King at my crib, but it's just a dream. Yo, it's just a dream. You know, and I think about it sometimes. I see her on Facebook. I see her on Instagram. Follow me. Every once in a while she sends me a like on my Instagram. So I got to grab the mic and say, yo, I see you're still single in the streets out here. You probably been beat quite a few, and I can't even trust you, cause I see you now always posting about another dude that just played you down, ran through your heart. I'm like, damn, you should've kicked it with a real man. If only you could see it back then. So I had to do the little zoom zam, zam zim zalabam. Shout out to Mos Def, now flipped his name. I used to like that shit when I ride the train. The first time back in New York was back in '01. When I graduated, had a nice girl. I used to ride the number 9 out to Brooklyn, see her every once in a while. She was Trini and I love to see her eyes.
Love to see a smile. Yeah, yes, it has been a while. I wish we could kick it as peer-to-peer, but now bringing that funky for you here. Straight from the mic check, Wisconsin from the back. Now we breaking your neck, give you the shit to bob from your head. Bob and weave, can't hit me, Muhammad Ali style. Floating like butterflies, stinging like bees, and we get the girlies. We ain't gotta say please, but that's what happened when you're a gentleman. And yes, we are victims of chivalry. Yes. Unfortunately, when you hit me right back, I can't always hit you back cause I'm on the nap, or maybe I'm just rapping the dome. I got so much stuff coming on. I'm not alone in the home microphone as I'm kicking it with these bank loans. Actually, I get paid up front, and this is what you get from a full scholarship. Like
I hear it coming around the mountain. I hear you coming around the mountain.
Coming right back on the mountainside like we do in this Rockin' This Mic's live, because we can have so much fun, yes indeed, whether we're on this side or that side of the Colorado Rockies. We're knocking home runs, yes, and Squire, I inspire, knocking them out like this was Mark McGuire. Although avoiding that poison in your arm, I still love my man Barry Bonds. We are not on jail bonds, we on some positive shit, despite we are not being negligent. And you know, in the house it's all good, my brother, hardwood, and we are in the hood, but we keep it so fresh. Yes, it's me, despite missing that 5G signal from LG. If you can keep it clean, yes, I can keep it clean with thee, and we can have fun. Look at my knee. Oh,
grew up in the park, used to leave a ooh.
Look at my knee. Checks with right back. Shout out to MOSDEF. Yo.
Yes. Grew up on the cookie. Master used to watch him on the little television. Channel 4 Sundays at 3. Kung Fu trying to be like that me. See Bruce Lee on the microphone. See me and I'm sitting back all alone. I don't give a fuck. I like that. I like how it just paused and then wah. Wow, wow, damn. I don't really give a fuck, and we just pick it back up. Oh, wow, wow, wow. And that's just how we get down. Thought you knew it by now. Yeah! Wild style! I'm just a wild style child! Wild style! Came out of nowhere. We always been here. I thought you knew this here. Nowhere. Always been here. Nowhere. Always been here. You know that there. We come out of nowhere. Nowhere is there. Ooh, yeah. That shit was hard, dog.
Yeah, man. That's enough for the episode. That's a lot of content.
That's excellent, man.
Well, thanks for sharing about CalArts, Odalo.
Man, thanks for having me on here, dude.
I'll give you this full thing.
Yes, please do, man. All you viewers out there, man, make sure you check out www.freeintheminds.com. It's all day positivity, all day, every day. All you rappers out there, much love to you, man. No shitting on your shine, man. I want you to keep on doing your thing. Stay on your grind. Keep shining, man. You know what I'm saying? If I can fuck with it, I fuck with it. If I don't, I won't. But at the same time, don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't mean that everything is for everybody. You know what I mean? But just you got to live out your fingerprint either way it goes, man. We all got our own. So be you and always orbit and always stay in orbit.
Yeah. As the universe keeps going, we got to make sure that we are going ourselves.
That's right.
And we don't want to get going with cats who ain't going themselves.
That's it. That's it. So no sleep, no days off. You know what I'm saying? Just take a nap and then get up and keep going.
Just take a nap and get right back on it. Mark it up.
That's it.
Oh, man.
That's it, man.
Also, Odalo has a number of children's books that are wonderful. Check out his Etsy stores. I don't know what you're currently.
We could throw that up in there. We could throw it on there.
We'll throw a nice little logo right about. Ting.
Bing, right there.
Right there. Check out.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all check that out, man. A lot of good stuff, man. You're going to see art on there. You're going to see books on there. You're going to see some films on there. You're going to see some builds on there, conversations and stuff. Like a lot of just good stuff, man. So check it out. See, and whatever you like, man, there's something there for everybody, man. So.
Great. Oh, all right. Thanks. See you later.
Love. Peace.
And we're back on the ones and twos. I hope you enjoyed that one for the Blues Clues. So put a paw print to that face, and I'll see you next time in this place. This has been Dormitory Glory Stories. I'm your host, Dejen Tesfagiorgis. Tune in next week where we have a special guest, Julia Schroeder, talking about her time at Kalamazoo College in Michigan, and her guest, a high school women's soccer coach.
I dropped a couple classes, and that was kind of insane for me. I was also going through just a rough I don't know, mental health situation. I mentioned eating disorder that was getting worse, and so it was just
there's tacos over there if you are.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been digging in.
Okay.
Believe me.
You look great, whatever you're doing now.